Well, we got our leader cut right here, several feet of leader, so I'm gonna be tying this hook up and then we will kind of see what beads we want to use. Nice knot right there, should hold real well. Nice clean little egg loop knot. I'm gonna have to get the trash can actually. Well, we got someone in here now, so I just had to take a break real quick to go and grab the trash can. But up here tying some soft beads for winter steelhead. I'm trying to be streaming these more often, but haven't tied any up since Christmas, I think. So got our leader right here and hook we just tied up. So now gotta figure out, we'll go roll by roll and see what happens. But I'm gonna start with the pinks first, since that's the bottom roll. So I want to tie a cerise one up here actually, since I know I used one of these up. Yeah, that's what I'll go for. Let's see if we can find the right one. How many 14 pink pearls do I have actually? My leaders I've been cutting lately have been a little on the long side, so maybe this will be better. Got the bead stop on there. Now it's just time to choose the bead. And then just like that, got our hook and bead stop on right here. Now it's time to select the bead. I think we're gonna go with this one right here. This little size, I think it's a size 12, maybe a 14. I just lost it. I just hooked myself. Okay. Hi, what's up? Looks like you're the first person to join the stream, or at least more than a couple seconds. Let's see if we can thread this bead on here. Well, 30 of you guys are here. Check out what we got going right here. Little, so right now I'm tying up soft beads for winter steelhead. So if any of you are into fishing and, you know, fish this time of year, that might be something that you guys are familiar with. But 43 of you guys on here right now. Just tied up this hook and this bead stop. We're gonna be putting this cerise bead on here. This one should work better for low clear conditions, blue water. So if you're fishing with these, really good thing to use to catch big fish, salmon and steelhead. Hi, what's good? Anybody in the chat, how's it going? We're just up here doing some little fishing arts and crafts, basically. I finally got it to feed through here, so pull it down to the bead stop, kind of push it up a couple finger lengths. And this is our final product right here. So that's one tied up. I got like 11 down to go, so I'll be here in a little while. But got several feet of leader right there. Just should present, should swing through the water like this, get the attention of a nice big fish, hopefully at some point. Fruit. It's not fruit, it does look tasty though. definitely fish candy, but this is a cerise color, which is kind of a purple. We're gonna be tying that up to this little thing we got going on here. So it's kind of a tricky thing to do, but once you get it started, it's not so bad. And I've gotten it started, it looks like. Kind of satisfying just wrapping it around here, but then we just wrap it over and then put this hook in here. And that is one down and who knows how many to go. I believe 11 actually. And I make sure they're tight so they don't wobble around too much, but yeah, we got all kinds of pretty colors in this box that we could use. I'm gonna try and tilt it without spilling it, but you can kind of see from there. I'm just kind of mimicking what we've done on a couple of these rolls right here. I've got different sizes and different colors going on. So I think we got 2 more on this roll after we put that one on there. And we're gonna get started with that. So you cut a nice long leader right here. And we'll go about like this. And then grab my hook. Try and use smaller hooks, like about this size. Really, honestly, you can use the same size hooks you use for trout or just a touch bigger and still get big fish on them. So here we got this. Wrap it around 8 times. And then tighten this up right here and then go around the back and push it up through. Pull the loop, get my fingers out of the way, and then pull it tight just like that. Now we just pick out what bead we want on here, so let's get rolling with that. I think I'm gonna go for another pink. I might try see here. I could try one of these, although I believe these are 16s. I think I'm gonna go with this, the pearl pink right here. So kind of hard to see, maybe, but it's a pretty shiny one. Got to put the bead stop on first with that one. Just put it through this metal thing, pull it onto the line, wait for that snap. I just seat it down through, feed it down to the end, trim the tag, and you've got this right here, the old bead stop down to the hook. We'll be putting that bead on next. All right, there we go. Got it. Feed it through, pull it up a little bit, and boom, got another one done. It's nice when you can get pretty quick with these, but so it'll float somewhat. So got a probably not even 3 feet a leader. This should be about perfect by the time I cut everything on. So I'm gonna get this one put up right here. See if we can't get it on the roll smoother than we did with the last one. Wrap it around, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one just took me 10. Just so happened to take me 10 twists to get it on there. Push the hook in, boom, thing's not going anywhere. We're almost filled out on this one. We only got one more left. So I might be streaming for around an hour. We'll kind of see how it goes. Kind of depends on how many people tune in and how long it takes us to do these, but I'm already like 1/6 of the way done, so this one's a bit loose, as you can see. But so, time to try another pink. Might be a bit long here. Maybe it's about right. It's about good 3.5, 4 feet a leader, potentially. So with that, I'm gonna grab another hook. I think it's a size 2. Thread it through and try this process all over again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tighten that up, and then go through the back so it sits more naturally when it's going through current. One trick I've learned anyway. And then get my fingers out of the way, pull it tight. We got a hook right there. That's 3 hooks and not a ton of time. There is a potential that this live stream gets cut short eventually, so we'll kind of see how it goes. But right now, I'm gonna go for as long as I want. Probably not super long today, but just enough to kind of get this all done so I can take these out on the water tomorrow and give them a whirl. So hopefully that ends up happening. Got the speed stop on right here. For the longest time I couldn't figure these out, how you got them on, but it's actually pretty simple. Got the tag end. Then now we just pick out the bead. So I'm gonna say we go with a mottled here. Let's try a 14 mottled. We'll go mottled cerise. So this guy right here, kind of the same one of the first one we did, but mottled. So it just won't. Okay, there we go. And I lost it. Wouldn't go through this bead, but now we got it too, so. Okay, it looks like this one's done. We just got 3 done in about 12 minutes. So, and I've been yapping a little bit, but I'm gonna go shorter with these leaders now that the water level is dropping on some of the rivers that we're fishing. Not a lot of rain in the forecast for the next week, so we're definitely gonna have to go smaller, and that's what I'll do on my other roll up here. But for now, we're just gonna tie this one right up here. That'll be that for this roll. If I can get it to go. Oh, shoot. All right, fixed it. Sort of. Let's get this one wrap right here. Pull that hook up so there's not a lot of loose parts on it. And just like that, we are done tuning up this first roll right here. So, what is that? 3 down, 9 to go. This could certainly be a live stream that ends up being under an hour, but we'll see. Put this mottled orange, put it away. That one, he's actually kind of broken. Yeah, throw that in the garbage. All right, bust out this one. So that's what we just did. I'll save this one for last because I'll be tying up a bunch of small ones. So got 3 more on this one. You can kind of see this is what I got going on here. I believe these are all 12s and 14s, maybe 14s and 16s. So got some real sexy looking colors on here though for steelhead. And this one's one of my favorites right here. This clear one is another one of my favorites. And I like these red ones too. But without further ado, start hitting up that leader. See right here. Clip. Then let's go for the I think I'll go see 2 mottled. We'll see. I'll put this one on and figure it out. Oh, gotta put the hook on first. Can't forget about that. Sometimes I get a little too ahead of myself here, but a little big. A little big. Right here. Here we go. Probably gonna be running out of size 2s at some point, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that go up, back up through this. Gonna have to be quick with my muting. So I'm gonna have to mute it on and off, but pretty short leader I cut right here compared to my other ones. You know, I can still catch fish on it, but we're gonna figure out what bead we want to use. We're gonna go with this creamsicle one. Got that on. Pull it down. Pull it back up. Just like that. We got our first one on this roll. Okay, now probably gonna tie up 2 more. Well, we do have 2 more, so that's all we can tie up, but I'm probably gonna go one of these shiny ones, and I want to do a magma one, but probably won't. So yeah, we'll go one of these, and maybe I'll just do 2 of these. We'll see. this. Actually, that's an orange, not a red. And I'll tie this one up because I don't have this particular clear orange on here anyway, so. There we go, got that, get the hook. It's obviously getting harder to find the smaller hooks because I'm using more of them. Doesn't hurt to experiment and try different sizes, but if you guys are just now joining the stream, we're attempting to tie up soft beads for winter steelhead. I've been cruising through them pretty quickly, but I think I've got 5 or 6 of them done out of the 12 I have going on. And nice beads, thanks. Yeah, I got quite a good collection here. I'm gonna try and kind of show that off a bit without spilling the box, but I have a bunch more tied up on these rolls. We got this one mostly done, this one completely done, and then this one, I used a bunch of them, so it was done last time I went to go do this, but got our leader right here, got our hook. Gonna tie this up again through this eyelet, give myself a little extra slack to work with. 8 times around the shank of the hook. Pull the snell up tight towards the hook, and take this and go back up through the hook, not down. And then the hard part is just get my fingers out of the way right here. This is a solid knot, definitely solid. Probably not my best, but it's hard to see, but it'll do the trick. Do I watch Addicted Fishing? Yeah, I've watched some of their videos before. They make some great stuff. Admittedly, I don't watch a lot of their stuff, but when I do, it's usually really good. So those guys never miss, and they seem like total pros. So maybe one day I can get to a point like that, but for now, got a pretty long leader. So kind of see the whole thing right here. We're gonna tie this bead stop up and then get this guy on here. It's pretty easy to get poked by these wires, so that's one thing to watch out for. P&W is great for steelhead fishing. Absolutely, it is the best. I mean, I know they can catch them near the Great Lakes, Michigan, Wisconsin, all those other places, but where we're at in the northwestern Pacific Northwest, it's some of the best steelhead fishing there is. So, and there are areas north of us further that are better, but definitely one of the big draws to continue to living in a place like this is just the winter steelhead and salmon. That being said, the numbers are nowhere near what they used to be, and that's what I get told by older people all the time is, you know, even 15, 20 years ago, it was a big difference. Been a lot of drop off since then, but even on low numbers, low returns, and just kind of the average fish declining we've seen over those past couple decades, you go to the right river, you fish in the right spot, you'll get fish to hit on things like this. So it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, this is exactly what you have to use. There's so many different methods to hook steelhead. I hooked one, I'm 0 of 3 on the season, so it's been a rough start for me. I've hooked 2 on a pink steelhead worm, and the other one I hooked on a blue fox. So the first 2 fish I hooked was 2 different trips, and just didn't get them hooked very well, and so lost them after about a second. This fish I hooked on the 3rd trip, the most recent trip, I hooked it on a pink steelhead worm, fought it for about 30 seconds, got it right out in front of me, and then it came off. So that sucked. So I'm really hoping one of these beads will get me on and land me a fish this season. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. I'm getting closer every single time, but for now, that puts us mostly there. Yeah, just got 6 left, so we're halfway there. It'll be about an hour stream, probably, maybe a little less. 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, so now it's time to tie up some 10s on here. These are all gonna be the small ones. like I was saying earlier with the water levels dropping and stuff, the 10s and the 8s will do us a lot of good. E-pot? I'm a little confused on that one. Put that right there. Get ourselves a hook right here out of the dwindling hook collection. That's all you need though, is just a little size 2. It's crazy how sometimes when you're going after the bigger fish, bigger doesn't always mean better, whether it's for hooks, lures, beads. 8. Let's see if we can make this a really nice knot right here. Go up through here. That's a pretty good knot. Sure looks like it. If you guys are just joining the live stream, we're tying up some soft beads for winter steelhead, chasing some big Pacific Northwest fish. And I've come pretty close a few times this season, and just haven't had it happen yet. So we're gonna keep on. Oh shoot, admittedly, I just tied up the wrong bead stop on here. I don't think this will work. Huh? Actually, it might work for an 8. We'll try it out. All right, we got that bead stop on. I forgot to cut this slack off of here too. It looks like someone in the chat's from Indonesia. That's pretty awesome. Long ways from where I'm at, but a few feet, a leader right here, and we're gonna got the bead stop on. We're gonna see if we can squeeze an 8 on this. I'm not really sure, but go for the creamsicle one right here. Go with this. See if we can get it to stay on this bead stop. Bead stop might be just a touch too big. We got that on there, I think, maybe. There we are, finished product on that one. I think I'll move this up just a touch. Yeah. There it is. We'll have 5 more to go, and then that will be it for the live stream. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tied up on here. So 2 oranges. We'll go. These might be hard beads. Yes, they are. So I think I'll grab another red. Grab 2 reds. And then 2 reds. We'll do 1 mottled orange. Size, I think these are 10s. And then we'll do a couple 8s. this is what we got for the remaining 5 we're gonna go with here. Got this little short here, get our hook going. I'm just digging for the right hook. Okay, I think that'll work right here. Yeah, actually that's a little bigger, but it'll work. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we'll go up through here. A knot that is so strong. Got a couple, 2 to 3 feet a leader, just about right in that sweet spot. We're gonna go for these ones right here. Time for the 10, a couple 10s, and then we'll move on to the, well, three 10s, 1 8. Done with the first 10. One done, or 2 done, 4 to go. Found another small hook. Probably not a ton left in there, but 6, 7, 8. You got a good knot tied here, it looks like. Cut off that slack, put the bead stop on, put the bead on. Ouch. Get poked by the wire in the process, but at least we can throw that one away so we're not getting poked by that anymore. Bead stop is on, tag piece is trimmed, and this is what we're left with right here. hook, bead stop, several feet a leader, and then what will be tied to the swivel. Okay, this one right here, go for another red. It's pretty satisfying activity, I will say that. So I can get all that kind of bead slime off the, or not bead slime, but just debris off the line. That would probably be helpful. But that is what we got right here. Just look at that glare in the camera. Beautiful, clear red. Looks just like a salmon egg, which is what they go after. So and this one's all good. So 3 more. We've got, actually these aren't the reds. These I think are the oranges. They look, yeah, they're all orange. So it just looks like red with the glare, but it's possible they kind of are partly both, because they may have, if they've rubbed up against each other, they could be kind of a hybrid of a couple of different colors. 1 more 10 and then 2 8s, and then we'll call that a day and get ready to go fishing tomorrow, hopefully. All right, got that hook tied up. Time for the bead stop, and then we'll go this. We'll go this. We can get rid of this faster. All right, let's see if I can pull this down here. All right, got that. And then trim the tag end. Grab this mottled, looks like a, yeah, that is still a 10, it looks like. So I don't think I've tried this one. I may have found this somewhere or something, because this looks like the only one I have, but feed this through right here. You're just joining the stream. We are we're mostly done, but we've been tying up beads for winter steelhead. So these can often be quite the candy for big fish. See if I can get this a little closer to the hook. Yep, that's our finished product for the mottled orange right here. Kind of hard to tell what color they are, I'm sure, from the camera, because is a bit of glare on there, but these leaders are going to be a little bit more on the short side, which I guess evens out, because most of my other leaders I cut were on the long side. So be using these if we get spots that we are going to be able to bead fish at. We will be using the 10s and 8s a lot more than anything else. If not, lure fishing, but a little bent, but we got this on here. So that's 10 of 12 total that I needed to retie. Oh shoot, I'm about to lose this bead. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see if we can get 2 more hooks in here that are, oh, there's more than 2 right there. Exactly 2, perfect. Make it go a little faster. Live stream will probably be about 50 minutes. I'll probably cut it off here after I get these 2 done. Shoot. Well, oh, there it is. Good. I don't want to leave a hook lying on the floor, but got that on there. We got one more hook to tie up and then 2 more bead stops and 2 more beads. Gotten pretty quick with all this, but strong knot right there. Get the bead stop on here, get the bead on here, and we'll be on to the final one. All right, bead stop on. Now let's see which one I want to do first here. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just go orange first. Ouch. That's our final product for the second to last bead. That's what it looks like. You can kind of see the size differentiation right there, but one more. This will be about right, a little lengthy. Trim this off. Still a little lengthy. All right, once we get this hook on and stuff, it'll probably shorten quite a bit. Last hook all tied up. Now we just got the bead stop and the bead, and then I'll probably be ending this live stream here in a couple minutes. All right, time to trim this tag piece. Yeah, this looks a lot better now that I trimmed it. We still got several feet of leader. Gonna be putting this bead on and putting it on the thing, and that should just about do it. There it is, the last one. See, actually, yeah, just move it up a hair. We're gonna tie this up on here and then call it a day. if I can tie this up on here. There we go. We got roll 1 right here. Just gonna make sure they're all done. This one is done. Roll 2 right here. Gonna check on this one as well. Looks like they're all done. And then it's a little bent because it's a little top heavy, but roll 3 right here is also done. So just gonna put some of this stuff away, but thank you guys for tuning into the live. Just figured this is honestly about as long as I was hoping for, about 45 to an hour, so that works out. But thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for my longer videos, my fishing videos coming up. All kinds of fishing content on my YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out. All kinds of long form videos, 15 to 20 plus minute, just fishing bangers, drone videos, cinematic videos, catching cooks, trout fishing, steelhead fishing, salmon fishing. So go check that stuff out. If you have not, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing on this live stream and to my channel. And we're gonna see you guys on the next live, whenever that is. So probably gonna do that. I wanna do this like once a week, you know, just be tying up beads and just kind of hanging out on stream. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, you know, feel free to drop those. But other than that, I'm just gonna start packing this stuff up and get ready to call it. Kind of show you the box right here while it's out, get you a better look. I got all kinds of different sizes and colors in here, so here's a jig that works really well for steelhead right here, the old nightmare jig. Oh, got one more thing. Just now wrapping this thing up. Part of me is hoping to make it to an hour, but it's at 51 right now, so that's unlikely. All right, we'll give it another 30 seconds here, but thank you guys for watching the stream. Make sure to go down there, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the stream or you like long fishing videos and some interesting commentary in places. So thank you guys for tuning into this. And like I said, we're going to try and be back next week, but, you know, hopefully. But other than that, you know, that's all, folks.